Hi folks, and welcome to your Gersnet immediate post-match reaction pod, coming to you in association with Forest Precision Engineering. My name is Alec Anderson and I'm speaking to you straight after Rangers' 1-0 win over St Johnstone at McDermott Park in Perth in tonight's Scottish Cup fourth round tie. A clash between the last two winners of the Scottish Cup. Rangers beating the last team to beat us in the Scottish Cup. Rangers beating the last team to beat us in any competition, because of course when St Johnstone beat us in the SPFL Premiership at this very venue back in November, it really was the start of the end for Giovanni van Bronckhorst. And I think the only goal of the game tonight kind of summed up the way that Michael Beale, in this continuing start to his career as Rangers manager, it's 9 competitive games now, he's won 8 of them without any really completely convincing performances. He's shifting the momentum. The goal comes with Borna Barisic allowed to have not a free shot, but a tremendous shot from the edge of the St Johnstone box, because St Johnstone have just had to change their right back, and their new right back hasn't completely played his way into the game. They're starting right back James Brown, the best Maltese fullback in Scottish football since Miles Beerman. He's the man who scored his only professional goal with an absolute worldie in that league game at McDermott Park back in November. Tonight, he gets taken off the park just before Borna Barisic is allowed an opportunity to shoot from the edge of the box. A fantastic shot, curls it right into the opposite side of the net, into the top right-hand corner, giving the goalkeeper absolutely no chance. Borna had got his eye in just a few minutes earlier with a curling free kick from the edge of the box, a direct free kick over the St Johnstone wall, just gone past the right-hand post. And I think we won't hear any more about Adam Devine. I know Borna's not been 100% perfect since he come back from the World Cup, but I think it's only going to be Yilmaz that will threaten him for his position. I was delighted to see him getting his goal tonight. That goal arrived after a sensational build-up play between Fashion Sakala, continuing this purple patch he has under Michael Beale, and Malik Tillman working a magical 1-2 on the right-hand touchline up at the far end towards the corner of McDermott Park, taking out 2 St Johnstone defenders. Tillman's got his back to goal, a magical back heel back into the path of Fashion Sakala. Fashion just drives in right to left towards the edge of the box. A great shot over towards the far left corner. So the goalkeeper touched on at the post, and there's Borna to slot home the replay. And I think the way Fashion Sakala can fit in with Tillman should be no surprise to us now. The way he fits in with anybody, you think of the number of different striking partners he's had, the number of different midfield support he's had, players he's had supporting him in midfield, the number of times Fashion himself has been playing in midfield, the positions he's asked to play, but he always looks like he's played with these players for 5 or 6 seasons on the bounce. He offers himself up. They can read him all the time, and he knows exactly what they're going to do. I'm so happy for Fashion Sakala. He's doing absolutely tremendously just now, and he really is an asset. But he, like everybody else, only had 1 or 2 moments tonight, 1 or 2 positive moments, enough to get us through the game. Michael Beale, one of the things that he's doing really well in this run at the start of his career as Rangers manager is getting us going again in the second half. His great half-time team talks. We didn't play any worse in the second half tonight, but we certainly didn't play much better. Just before the half-time whistle, we'd actually had a little incident where Alfredo Morelos was kind of penalised wrongly, as the action replay showed, for winning an aerial duel. It was given as a foul against Alfie, and I think the St Johnstone defence had stopped, but Alfie then plays a lovely little ball through to the advancing Ryan Jack, who had a decent game tonight again. Ryan Jack, he goes into the box, slots it past the keeper. I think they stopped, but I know it's one of those incidents where you would think, other teams would make a big deal of it. Other clubs would have something to say about that. Into the second half, I think it was Connor Goldson who he won a header at a corner, a Rangers corner, just touched away from the top right-hand corner by the St Johnstone goalkeeper, and Alfie himself, a lovely ball over the top from Ryan Kent. He controls it really well, but he can't quite get on top of it for the shot, and Considine's allowed to clear it off the line. He played well tonight, Alfie, and I think he's another person who sums up the kind of conundrum of this Rangers team under Beale, who are getting the results constantly, but are constantly kind of underperforming. He's over. In fact, a lot of the times the reason he was winning the ball so well tonight, coming deep, was because of his weight, because he was putting that big backside about. But then it became the reason he wasn't getting shots away. He doesn't have that little bit of pace. And now, how much do we put that down to Alfie not recuperating properly, not looking after himself like a professional? Michael Beale certainly put a spin on it that Alfie's actually doing us a favour by coming back early from injury, and it's not giving him a chance to recover properly. But him and John Lundstrom is really slow tonight. He's sort of recuperating from an injury. He's not been convinced in the past couple of games. Ben Davis, who I thought was going to form a great partnership with Connor Goldson a wee while ago, he's been kind of slow the last couple of games. He's really slow on his feet, and he was kind of unable to cut out the only chance that St Johnstone had. Of course, about 5 minutes to go, a simple ball whipped over from the St Johnstone right hand side into the box, and it's left to James Tavernier to turn and spin and clear the ball from a couple of yards off the Rangers line. St Johnstone weren't threatening us, but as I say, scar tissue. We're all thinking particularly about Xander Clark coming up into our box at Ibrox in that Scottish Cup clash a couple of seasons ago when Ibrox was empty and St Johnstone beat us in the Scottish Cup with the latest of late equalisers and then beat us in the penalties. Just as Hampden was empty when St Johnstone won the League Cup final, won the Scottish Cup final that same season. So the fact that there was only a smattering of St Johnstone fans in the ground tonight, because of a very understandable boycott, didn't actually mean anything to me. I don't think it hindered St Johnstone in any way. They're used to doing the business without any of their own support there. But wasn't to be. Rangers progressed. Deserved to win the game, whatever deserved means, but we won 1-0. And it's just great that Michael Beale can now get a hold of them for 6-7 days, let them rest up properly, get them trained up properly. They've just been kind of playing football and resting over the last week. And he can let them enjoy the fact that that's, as he was saying himself, that's 3 games in the last 6 days on really dodgy surfaces, different kind of dodgy surfaces, different venues, and also fixtures that have haunted Rangers recently. Aberdeen in the League Cup semi-final, we lost that the last time we played that fixture back in 2018. So he's done the business last Sunday, he's turned that around. Rugby Park, a terrible venue, a terrible surface for Rangers over the last 5 or 6 years. As is Derek McInnes as a manager, he's outfoxed us a few times. When Michael Beale was here under Steven Gerrard, we went in and we won. It wasn't convincing, but we won at Rugby Park in midweek to get rid of that. And of course, I've already explained the kind of historic precedent with St Johnstone in the Scottish Cup. But one good aspect of that is whoever tends to win in the 21st century between Rangers and St Johnstone in the Scottish Cup goes on to win the trophy. The other thing is the team can now let the focus come off them for a few days as it goes on to the cavalcade of new signings that are going to be paraded through Auchenhowie. Is that right? Ross Wilson, here's hoping. One thing I have to say, I have to point this out, Viaplay, terrible coverage. You'd think a Swedish company taking over from Premier Sports would improve things, but it still looks like a kind of Doctor Who title sequence from the 1970s at times. But one of the people who was working for them tonight, Michael Stewart, just trying to do a job as a pundit on the track side full time tonight. You could hear a large section of the Rangers support aiming abuse at Michael Stewart. Anyway, so if you want to come back and join us tomorrow night, 9 o'clock on, 9:30 on the main Sunday pod, it'll be Craig Ray who's hosting, and he'll have his guests, I think it is Dougie and Stuart Weir. They'll be discussing this match in a lot more detail, looking back at this week in general, and hopefully looking forward to a week where Rangers maybe have a few outgoings as the transfer window hots up, but also hopefully have a few more incomings. Guys, enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. We're in the next round. That's the main thing.